Hey, what's up guys, Reef and Easy, another tank update. I try to do these about every 2 months so people can get an idea of how much a reef tank is going to change over 2 months. So I had the biggest changes over the last 2 months, and basically I moved. My last video you'll see I'm saying, hey, I moved. It looks like most of the coral survived. I'm pretty happy about that. But since then, I've had a lot of coral die, and I have a theory behind it. Just remember, it's a theory, it's an opinion, but let me just lay out my hypothesis. So I noticed that mainly my Acropora started STNing, slow tissue necrosis, and I started to worry and freak out, like what's going on, check my parameters, trying to figure out what can I do to get them to stop doing that. And kind of what I eventually settled on or believed had happened is the biggest catastrophic change that had been made was when I moved. You know, my corals got moved around. The water temperature got really, really low. I think it was like low 70s. They had trouble hooking the tank back up, broke some bulkheads, and it was just the temperature was dropping. So I think that big stress, you know, now they're in different kind of lighting because all the rocks have been moved around, and just a bunch of different things was a big stressor on the corals. And most of the corals, the hardy corals, as you can see, they all look good and survived, but especially that Acropora, which is ultra sensitive to changes, I think that event created some death and some issues. But what's fascinating is it doesn't happen right away. It happened over 2 months, and the coral would look fine on a Friday, and then by Sunday, just 2 days later, all of its tissue would be falling off. And these are the Acropora. So maybe it was something else. Maybe I put something in the water and didn't even notice it. You can't really say for sure. That's why I say this is just a hypothesis. But I think what happened was that move was a big stressor and caused some of my corals to die. And the reason why I think that was it is because I noticed the ones that did survive all kind of looked not colorful and like they were just not doing so well. And then there was a point where everything started getting better. So hopefully, knock on wood, I think I'm past that, point where what's going to die has died and what's going to survive is going to survive. And they all look like they're actually getting better, more colorful. I can see the polyps starting to come out. I can see even a little bit of growth. So just wanted to give you guys an update on that. All my other corals survived and is looking good. So if you're thinking about getting into Acropora, just realize they're super sensitive. And if you are going to be moving in the next couple of years, you might want to actually wait on getting them, or just be ultra careful and try to not have them go through a lot of stress. All right, so let's just take a quick look at the tank so you guys can get an idea of how the corals have changed over the 2 months. My Gonopora is looking nice and good. Hasn't really changed in size much. I noticed when these guys shrink up at night, this pink one especially has a bunch of mounds on it, like little golf balls growing on it. So it's getting bigger, but it doesn't actually expand and take up much more room in the tank. Or if it does, I haven't noticed it because I see it every day. I think this is Vivid Rainbow. This got really, really light in color and was looking stressed and not good. And then it is in the last week gotten really, rich in color and looks like it's starting to grow again. This little guy right here, I'm really happy he survived. It's actually the most expensive Acropora I have. I got a tiny little sliver of him, and it's taken forever to get this big. But it's Matt V Rainbow Envy. And hopefully that guy stays alive. It looks like he survived the move. This acro hasn't done anything. I think that's Pink Floyd. I got a bunch of digitatas right there. Put a lot of my moving corals over here. Some hammers. And then this guy, you can see it started getting that STN. I got worried and I started clipping him and made a couple frags. But it actually stopped, and if anything, it looks like it's getting better. This has been like this for over 2-3 weeks now, where all the other ones kind of did this move to where you can see this is my Walt Disney, completely turned white, and this literally took 3 days, and it was completely white. Like, it was really fast, so I guess that would be RTNing. And this guy was a Walt Disney where it got a white spot and was like that for a couple weeks, looked fine, thought it was going to come back, and then all of a sudden it just started STNing, slowly getting worse and worse, so he turned all white. So you can see this acro, I guess it's alive, it's struggling, we'll see if it makes it. This guy died, and I moved some corals around and stuff. I put that toxic hammer up there. This kind of rock, pretty much every acro I put on it has died, so I moved one there. We'll see if it survived, but starting to put different kinds of corals on there. I was just putting the aquas there because it gets a lot of light. You can see this purple chalice looking awesome. Slowly but surely keeps getting bigger. If you go back to my early videos, this I got as a frag, and it's taken off. This Monipora. Got these bounce mushrooms on the side there. The Scolia is looking healthy. This guy's really gotten some growth. Love where you can see the 3 colors. It's a cool coral. You can see this Moni, I think it's called like a cherry tree, has really taken off. I got that for a really good deal because it was dying, and it's definitely not dying anymore. It's looking good. You can see the zoanthids are alive and well. Move this Duncan over here, and yeah, just been like moving stuff around. Pretty much set. Some upcoming videos I want to make is, you might notice that the lights, you can't see them anymore. I made this foam board, or actually a guy I work with made it, and it's really nice because it's super light and I can just pull it off and put it back on the tank. But the blue light was just driving me nuts in my office, but I like it more like this with the top on there. And yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I drilled some holes in some glass and got a frag tank I'm making that I'm eventually going to put up when I find the time. So hopefully I have some cool videos coming up. But thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.